All right, hey guys, and welcome back. Oh my gosh, you hear that? Do you hear the sirens? Run for the hills! It's Radio Shack Godzilla! Ah! So, this is a very fun little toy that I've had for quite a long time. As you guys know, I love Radio Shack stuff and Tandy stuff. And actually, I didn't know what it was for quite some time, and it was a little repair project of mine, and it's I believe it's actually called, like, Radio Shack Dinosaur, but I mean, it's clearly Godzilla. There was one variant of this that I believe was, like, green. So a lot of times that gets confused where, like, that one's called, like, Dinosaur, and, like, this is actually, like, Godzilla. And there's one that's also a Stegosaurus, so that one actually is a dinosaur. So, I think, like, when another company, aside from Radio Shack, like, purchased a license, they just didn't bother changing the branding, and so even though the coloration and the style clearly looks like Godzilla, they just decided to call it, like remote control dinosaur or whatever. Now, one thing I will say off the bat, this was a repair project, so you're not seeing things. This is not a Godzilla skateboard. Like what is this? Why is there a skateboard remote control for a Godzilla? And that's because these little things are unbelievably hard to find, and I wanted to see if I could get him up and working again, which I did. So this actually goes to my Radio Shack big RC skateboard review that I did years and years ago. But it's great because you can unhook the wires without doing any damage to either. They just unscrew right from the base. This little guy takes 2 AA batteries, of course, as most of these Radio Shack and Tandy style toys do. So I'm looking to find a genuine Radio Shack, or at least close to it, replacement, so this can go back with its actual toy, and I can have one for my Godzilla. But these things are actually really hard to find, and you don't want to take one from a pre-existing toy, unless it's totally broken or damaged or destroyed or whatever, because I hate doing that, because then you could have another one that you could refurbish and repair. So I don't like to do that unless I find something that, just has no more use and you can actually use it for this. But anyway, let's take a look at Godzilla himself. And man, this thing is awesome. Look at this beautiful paint that we got on there. You start off with like this kind of purple in the hands, and then it blends into like this kind of reddish burgundy. You have like this orange that it fades into next, and then it fades into like this yellow. So you have this really awesome color scheme, I think, that looks really, really great. You got the tail with the scale, some really nice texturing. The eyes do light up, but even when they're not lit up, I think they look fantastic. You got those great, like, green, clear emerald eyes. You got the jaw with some nice detail, and the teeth are very, they're very nicely designed, so they stand out really good, really, good, sharp teeth. So, he can pass for a dinosaur as well as Godzilla. Really, definitely looks ferocious. And, you got on the other side with the feet and everything, too. And he's powered by these 2 little wheels down at the bottom that make the legs rotate, and his arms move when he's walking. And he also makes like a sound, which is kind of cool. It's just the sound of a motor, but ironically enough, it really makes him sound and come to life more like Godzilla. But anyway, enough talking. It's time for the at least the Radio Shack King of the Monsters. He's raring to go. He wants to cause some damage and destruction, so let's fire him up and let's see what he does. Let's get a good head-on view first, so you can see him with his lights when he lights up and everything. And as most of these toys, they're very simple. You got one for forward, one for reverse, and usually when they turn in reverse, they kind of have to do like a half 180 circle and like back around, and then they can go forward. So let's get him going here, and oh no, watch out for Godzilla! So he doesn't have a lot of room there, but very cool, I think. I like that noise that it makes. It kind of reminds me of, like, from the old 1950s and 60s Godzilla movies. And then we can back him up here a little bit. Rah! And how awesome is this thing? And myself personally, I'm a big fan of all these goofy remote control toys. I know a lot of people back in the day, maybe if you got them as Christmas, they were kind of looked at as like cheap toys, like Radio Shack and everything, but I think that kind of makes them fun. Like, of course everybody wants stuff from like Tyco or like name brand stuff. Uh-oh, we stuck on something there. But, there's definitely something to be said for like the wonderful world of just wacky and cheap, like knockoff toys. And of course, not all of them are great, but I definitely think that Radio Shack was a really good manufacturer of just some really, wacky, off-the-wall electronics and toys. And this is one of their best, I think, at least as far as like remote control stuff goes. Run! It's Godzilla! So how fun is this thing? I mean, how can you not love this? And I think this was made, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but I want to say like 87 or 88. There was a couple of variants. I think this was finally put out of production in like 90, 91, 92 at the latest, but somewhere between 87 and 92 is when this had its run. And that's honestly when Radio Shack and a lot of companies started winding down their production of like these RC toys. You kind of, like when I did that little Soma spaceship, a few weeks ago, you didn't see stuff like this much past like 94 or 95. It was starting to die off. But anyway, I think this is really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this very quick, very random little review, with my love of Radio Shack toys and electronics with this remote-controlled Radio Shack Godzilla, and actually would be awesome, maybe he does need a skateboard. Maybe this is the right remote for him anyway, Who says Godzilla doesn't need a skateboard? Maybe that should be a project and really make this come to life. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this awesome Radio Shack Godzilla remote-controlled toy, and I'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at #8ByteBrian. See you next time.